Good morning and Om Shanti to all of you listeners. Today is the 174th day of your godly blessing. And before we go ahead in this godly blessing, have a look at the link above. This takes you directly to flexibility, yoga asanas, and also about diet and what to eat, what not to eat, and how to sleep well and better from today itself. Have a look at this link and go and check out the videos. So now let's go ahead with the 174th day of your godly blessing. Here Baba wants us to become Trikaldarshi, a person who knows all the three aspects of time and looks at everything which is happening around him and in other people's lives and sees them as something which is good, for the better, for the best, and focuses on self and not on others and doesn't question why, when, what, where, how, and makes their life peaceless and the own life peaceless. Why? We'll understand all that in this Vardhan. Let's go ahead. What does Baba say? Let's have a look. Baba says, may you remain stable in your Trikaldarshi stage and become constantly unshakable. That's the method to be unshakable. Once we forget the three aspects of time, the past, the present, and the future, of us and also of others, when we forget this three aspects of time which God has revealed to us about what has happened in our life and what has happened in other people's life, then we become irritated or frustrated, or we start questioning why, when, what, where, and that's where the frustration starts creeping in and our relationship gets bad with ourselves first, with God, and with others. So let's understand how to remain detached and how to be loving at the same time. Baba says, may you remain stable in your Trikaldarshi stage and become constantly unshakable and a detached observer as a number one fortunate soul. Then only we can become fortunate. Somebody whose every day is going very nice and very relaxed, instead of getting moody the whole day and looking at other people's different acts and different parts which they play. So Baba says in details, remain stable in your Trikaldarshi stage. God has given us the knowledge of our previous birth. For example, somebody takes birth in a singer's or a musician's home as a child and grows up and starts playing that music or that instrument or starts singing. We directly see them and we understand why, because in the previous birth that soul has been as a singer in many births. Similarly, if you look at somebody else who has anguish or anger or greed or jealousy, we understand in the previous life that soul has gone through a lot. Maybe people have done something bad with that soul, they've taken away everything, that's why that soul is acting greedy. Maybe in the previous birth that soul was punished or that soul was not given the rights, that's why that soul is taking or has brought that anger in their life in this birth also. So why that anger, why that greed, why that jealousy is there is because of certain reasons of what has happened in the past or in the past birth also. So God says all that makes you Trikaldarshi and all that makes you have patience and tolerance and less of expectations from others. Because now we understand our own previous birth, why I'm like this, why I got this weakness, why I got this talent, all that is there, all the secrets are there when we look at the past life. And we also know that what I have to do now, I have to be patient with myself also, with others also, tolerant with myself also, with others also. We get frustrated with ourselves. Why can't I change? Why is it taking me so much of time to change? Why am I like this? Am I always going to be somebody who's struggling in life? No, God says, now focus on the self, but in the good manner. Understand your past life, what you have done, good and bad. You're carrying both with you, the negative and the positive too. The darkness also you're carrying from your previous life, and the good also you're carrying from your previous life. So when you keep that in perspective, the darkness and the lightness of your previous life, then we can be in a constant stage and we can feel like we are fortunate enough in this life. We stop questioning why, when, what, how. Why am I fortunate like this? Why has God made me like this? Why have I taken birth in this family? Why not that family? I wish my parents were this, or I wish my family was that. I wish my brothers sisters were like this. Sorry, all that finishes once we get this knowledge. So Baba says that do not have any question marks. And before that Baba says, Remain stable in your Trikaldarshi stage while you create every thought. When we create every thought about ourselves and others, we have to think about it on the basis of what we were, what we are supposed to be, and what we are going to become. God says you are going to become pure. Everything around you is going to change for the better. Every soul whom you come in contact with also go through a journey of learning and then come out as somebody who's better. So when you know all that, have patience, have tolerance on yourself also and others also. Don't want instant gratification. When we want instant gratification, instant change in other people's lives, our own life, we get frustrated, we get irritated, we drain our pure energy out, we start blaming around, we start lashing around, and then we create more of chaos around us. So Baba says, remain stable in your Trikaldashi stage while you create every thought, perform every action, and see every situation. When you see every situation, you stop questioning, you stop doubting, you stop blaming. Why is this like this? Or what is this? Why has this happened with me? Always put a full stop, Baba says. Full stop means bindi. Bindi means the soul is like a point. So that's like a full stop. So when we understand that I'm a soul and I've gone through a journey in my past lives, I'm like this because of certain reasons which I've done. I've got this weakness because of what I've done in my previous birth as a negative karma or a bad karma, and I'm carrying that sanskar in this life and I have to overcome that. It will take time. I don't expect it to change instantly within me. So how can I expect that to happen in somebody else's life also? So expectations also reduce. And we also are looking forward towards improvement, and we give ourselves time. We give the world time. We give the surroundings time. So God says then, always put a full stop. Nothing new. This is nothing new. This is supposed to happen. Every soul is supposed to overcome their weaknesses. They're supposed to go through their journey. For example, let's say parents, they see their child. One child is doing well, one child is not doing so well. If they have this knowledge of soul consciousness about the Trikaldarshi, the past, the present, and the future, about the past life of that soul, if they can see through that internal eye and not these eyes, then they also understand that the soul has done certain things or certain acts in the previous life, because of which the experience of that soul or that child is like this. But if they look at that child as my child, oh, why is this happening? Oh, why is that happening? Oh, why is that child? Then more mistakes are done. Then you push that child around, or you push that parent around, or you push your spouse around too much. And God says that's where the chaos is created. So relax. Have patience, understand the three aspects of time, and then create a thought, then take action. And that act will always be pure. So Baba says, nothing new. Know the part of every soul very well as per the karmas which we have understood. What all different pure karmas and impure karmas the soul could have done in the past life, because of which that soul is experiencing this particular instant or this situation in their life. When we understand that, then we can be helpful. Otherwise, we are into questioning, we are into doubting that person, we are into labeling that person is bad, or that soul is bad, or that being is not good. And that's where we create distances, we create differences, and we create more peacelessness. So that also helps us out to be calm and composed and humble and relaxed and patient. So Baba says, while having relationships and connections with souls, when you are in that state, be equal in being detached and loving. Detached when you look at something bad happening to that person. Detached doesn't mean that you straight away you give up on them or you remove yourself from the situation. Be helpful without judging, without blaming, without complaining. That is what it means to be detached. And loving. That is what it means to be loving. You are still cooperating with that soul. You're still caring for that soul and not judging them, because you know the Trikaldarshi. You know the three aspects of time of what that soul must have done in the previous life, what baggage of sins, baggage of good karmas they're getting along with them, because of which sometimes they're successful in their life, and because of the baggage of negative karma they are becoming not so successful in their life. So you understand all that and you're still loving with them. That's the crux of it. That's what Baba wants us to do. Be equal in being detached and loving, and all fluctuation will finish. Fluctuation in whom? In ourselves first. Why, when, what, where will finish, and that will finish for others also and them also. So Baba says to remain constantly unshakable and a detached observer is a sign of a number one fortunate soul. So we are detached observers, that's why we are unshakable. We are able to cooperate with them, love them, that's why we are unshakable. That's why our relationships also going very smoothly. We understand everything. We understand the soul, what that soul has experienced, where that soul is coming from. And we also understand that the future of that soul is bright. That soul is going to become more powerful and more stronger as per the experiences that soul has. And we don't need to come between God and that soul and become the lawmaker. No, we are nobody in their life. Only God, and they decide what they have to do. So that makes us more of a unshakable being. We don't take the burden of God on top of us, and we become fortunate to have good relationships, fortunate to be peaceful within ourselves, and tolerant also, and have all the good qualities within us. So I leave you with this Vardhan. Have a blessed day. Stay safe, stay home, contemplate about it. Om Shanti.